All right, sorry for the delays there, but welcome everyone to a first round groups matchup between Team BearPear on the left, represented by Azure and Polar Bear Bunny, and Team BayfieldHay on the right, represented by Nobly the Foreign and Obscure. I'm Maniacal. I'm going to be commentating the race, and we have Pro Piece on tracking as well. So this should be a lot of fun. We have a Super Metroid randomizer today, but the items, because it's a multi-world tournament, are randomized between the players' games on each team. Each team will be playing the same seed. Player 1 on each team will have the same seed. Player 2 will have the same seed. And then the items will pass between the players. And the race is to get both teammates across the finish line first. So it is first team to complete the game with both of their players. And this tournament, just kicking off, we have a split between the ways the items are distributed. So you either are going to get a full item randomizer where the items can be quite literally anywhere, or a major minor split, which is sort of the more classic Super Metroid randomizer item splitting, sort of popularized in the 2017 randomizer tournament, where there are 34 locations and designations of the 100 items that are designated major, including suits, E-tanks, beams, and the like. And then the rest, ammo upgrades, are represented as minor, comprising the other, 66 item locations. And this one happens to be a full randomizer. So as we see, those missiles there at the Morph Ball pedestal for Azure, we're going to have, a full rando, because that Morph Ball pedestal would be a major spot, and that would be a minor item there. And it looks like player 1 on both teams, Azure and Nobly, are matched up, and player 2, PBB and Obscure, are also matched up. So everything looks good to go. And there, Azure's Morph Ball and likewise Nobly's going to be found here in the ceiling. Nice deboosts, or not even deboosts, but knockbacks from both players to get that on the first try. And now we're going to see what they do. It doesn't look like we have early power bombs for anybody, so no one's going to be checking out Billy Mays. So that is going to be an item location that could be very, very important. And we'll see if they get back to it. Looks like we do have power bombs, and Azure and Nobly probably are going to go right back up. So that's a good start. But we will have one team where, or one team member for each team, where that Billy Mays is hanging out. And this is a pretty dangerous room here with those boulders. With no E-tanks, those hit pretty hard. Now, poor Polar Bear Bunny and Obscure, they're going to have to head right back up. They have no bombs. Azure knew what he needed to do to get away from that, and Nobly is maybe getting a little bit stuck. And gets a nice little wall jump to get out of the water there. You can also do it with a down grab, or a crouch jump into down grab, which is typically how you see people escape that, but can be a little bit tricky. But does get rewarded with supers and a second power bomb. And we see the items are passing between the players now. I didn't catch exactly what was found there. It looks like power bombs for Polar Bear Bunny on Azure's side, and I'm sure Nobly will get there soon. Get Obscure his first power bomb pack. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a wild ride. We'll see where the items show up. There are no real restrictions on what can be placed where at this point. There are logical restrictions in terms of what will be required or won't be required for players to do in terms of resources you'll need for various things, like going into regions of Norfair where the rooms are heated, needing certain numbers of E-tanks, needing movement items and gating items to get to certain locations. But otherwise, It's kind of a free-for-all. Go through the 100 locations as fast as you can and find the items. Looks like back of Gauntlet, just 2 missile packs, so Polar Bear Bunny unlikely to go through there. It is very difficult to watch 4 screens at once, or even 2 screens at once. So I'm going to be missing things left and right. So I apologize for that. But looks like we do have Ashtar headed over into the Bomb Chorizo area. Now, Bomb Chorizo will not activate whatever it is that makes him turn on without bombs in some randomizers is not set in this one. So that is nice. That makes that a nice quick check. And ooh, we have quite a play here from Nobly, although you got to get out of that acid. Oh no. I was gonna say that was an aggressive play there, scouting the climb supers. Unfortunately, taking a death in that acid, the Boyan sort of trapped him in there, and then that the water physics or acid physics, I suppose, make it really tough to get back out of there. So thankfully, just a few minutes in the race, you can definitely go back down, re-grab things. You're going to get the stuff that your partner finds for you, and the server will store what your partner has found and will basically give those items back to you immediately. So it's actually even a little bit faster and easier than restarting in a normal randomizer. But is a little bit of a chunk time loss, but it could end up largely not mattering, although now Obscure needs to be a little careful. Is going through on 27 health in an area where there's acid. I think it's 1 damage every 4 frames, and then the spikes just hit you for 60. So speaking of spikes, Polar Bear Bunny is in the Edicoons room. Here are the pre-Edicoons, I guess. That spike hallway. Makes it through cleanly. Nobly gets that morph ball back and is good to go. Says, I don't need to go up there and get a second power bomb pack and super missiles. Probably going to skip Billy Mays this time. It may be 1 per frame, Derp. It's fast. It adds up real fast. Yeah, 15 a second seems low. It might be 1 per frame. The acid hurts with Power Suit. It is true. Speaking of things that hurt, Polar Bear Bunny is coming up to these big side hoppers in Pink Brinstar. This is an area you're not really supposed to be in the first time through. Normally are not intended to, so it's sort of stocked with some enemies that are a little beefier than the rest of the things in the area. Those will hit you for 80 a pop if you run into them. So good thing that she dispatched those cleanly. Nice mock ball from Obscure here in Bryn Reserve. Gonna head to the back and see what he finds. Early E-Tanks are super welcome. I'm always really happy to have E-Tanks, as long as I don't have suits yet in Multiworld. See Polar Bear Bunny setting up for a little glitch here. This, I can't call it newer tech because it's from, I think, around 2014 at this point, so it's 8 years old now. But if you fire a super missile from just the right sort of camera angle, you can hit a block that is off screen and basically get around having to ever fight Spore Spawn. So it's nice. It gets around the way that we used to have to get there. Used to have to either fight Spore Spawn or have to force stand with a Crystal Flash to hit that block. but Polar Bear Bunny gets in cleanly, and then also is using a glitch to use super missiles again to hit things that are, I won't say off screen, but you can't really see them, to open a gate from the wrong side. And these little tricks make it really nice and easy to clean out this area almost completely, aside from the speed booster gated item. So it's nice to have that tech to get those items out of the way. Don't have to come back unless you get speed booster and the seed hates you. But PBB are first into Green Hill Zone, which is sort of the prelude to what route are the runners going to take on this seed. And so Polar Bear Bunny, without a lot of movement items pretty scarce so far for our runners. We do have that Ice Beam for the player 1 spot. You have the choice of either going up red tower or down red tower. Down is going to take you towards some heated rooms, give you a slightly longer overall path length through the seed in terms of expectation, but up is going to force you to do wrecked ship on low resources a lot of the time. At least that's the intent when you choose to go up. So it'll be interesting. This is the main sort of early point of divergence in these seeds. Polar Bear Bunny's choice has been made. Obscure is playing it very safe around that large side hopper. Nicely done. And we see Azure is going up red tower. Nice deboost through the Hellway. I'm gonna have 3 more item checks over here, plus whatever is up in the top of the map that's available, which is everything in wrecked ship and on the way there, as well as some of the stuff that was left behind, although some of that stuff is not yet accessible. Yeah, it's being pointed out by chat. So far, this seed's been pretty stingy with useful items. We do have some major items. We have a number of E-tanks, have an Ice Beam and Morph Balls, and that'll get you through a lot of the game, honestly. Another E-tank there for Polar Bear Bunny. That's actually a really nice find for BearPear. Just having that, because Polar Bear Bunny is set up to basically have to do some heated rooms if she ends up with access to movement through those sometime soon. Meanwhile, after a little bit of an early setback, a little bit of hiccups in getting through some of the rooms, still overall going pretty nicely. We have a lower half of Kraid. If you like to count on those, there he goes. But we get the full sprite today. It's great. But if you keep track of that, PBB is showing off all of Kraid, which is great. He's bright yellow. I'm just enjoying seeing Kraid dance here. But yeah, otherwise, nice fight from PBB. Cleans it up fairly quickly. Doesn't get into any real trouble. Not too dangerous of a fight in general. And we're looking at a little bit of separation for the teams. That early death for Nobly, and then some of the rooms have just been a little bit slower, but overall still really nice play from both teams. Playing it pretty safe as they start to get some of these resources, making death a little bit less likely. And looks like Azure just went up briefly and is now heading down. So I'd missed that turnaround there while I was sort of seeing what was going on the other screens. Looks like we are into some hell runs here for Azure. So did just do the upper red tower checks, and Azure is going all the way down. The Crumble Chef did get that grapple beam. good knowledge to use the side of those crumble blocks to wall jump up, and gets out pretty cleanly. But now these little mini Diskegas, those also hit quite hard. And Azure going right on into the Ice Beam Hell Run. And interesting. I guess we're gonna try and make it out here. I don't know that I believe in this for Azure, so I'd be hopeful that there was a save before. And he's gonna use some pause and then wait and see if PBB can get an E-Tank. So yeah, this is sort of what you have to do in Multiworld. Sometimes you get stuck and you just gotta wait for the E-Tank to come in. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen this on the zero pause here, so I'm curious to see if this works. But yeah, I'm guessing that Azure doesn't have a save. Let's see, looking at the map, it does. What is going on with this map? Yeah, we have not gone to a save in Norfair, and I don't think we took one in Upper Red Tower. So I think they may just be stuck until Polar Bear Bunny can find an E-Tank. Unfortunately, there are only 10 of them left in the game, and there are a lot of item locations in Azure's game as well. But this is going to definitely make up some of the time. And looks like they are just saying, we're just gonna get the items back, go back and get all those things. And PBB getting the Crumble Tower item. And also resetting. So we see Azure does get to start the game over, quote unquote, with 2 E-Tanks and a decent amount of ammo. Knows where his Morph Ball is, knows where his Power Bombs are, and can be pretty selective. So it's not going to be a full 16-minute loss, but it is a pretty big chunk time loss. There weren't any major items down there, and it looked like the Ice Beam came from Polar Bear Bunny's game. So I think we're just going to see go up, turn right at the ship, and go down Red Tower, or just head over indirect ship with the knowledge of what he had found. This is definitely one of those situations where a huge chunk time loss like that can be a little bit less punishing than it would be normally. Like, normally you'd just be starting from square one. You probably would have found something in Bryn Loop somewhere. But this seat's actually pretty weird in that regard. It looks like Polar Bear Bunny's turned around and going back up, and a Plasma Beam here in Kraid's Lair. Yeah, I guess we just didn't go to Kraid's Lair. For Azure, which is fine. It's only 3 items. It's fairly slow, and you're going to have opportunities to get back by it. But that is a nice convenience find there for Nobly. Team Bayfield Hay picking up a nice little find there in the wall. Oh, and Polar Bear Bunny doing X-ray now with that grapple. That's a good read. Was down red tower by the time she'd gotten grapple, and so morph bombs. Her morph bombs. So that's can fly access. That's can fly equals true, and does open up some of the locations she wouldn't have been able to access before up red tower, such as say the criteria power bombs. It's slow, but it's in logic, and so sometimes you got to do what you got to do in this game. What she got to do is she got to stop taking spike hits, because those things hit for 60, and she had 30 health plus reserves. But makes it out. Yeah, Crate is going nuts today. Crate's having a great day. We do have another chance at the Crate quick kill. It's a little bit of a finicky trick, and it's not super low cost to miss it. So it's one of those things where, like, on an individual run, you could just miss it, and that's fine. There's a lot more to this game. Generally, races are not decided by whether or not you got the Crate quick kill. Yeah, as expected, Azure looks to be heading right, and looks like he is going to head into the moat area. He's going to go for a continuous wall jump here. If he gets the through the door setup, he would have 2 frames for the second jump. Now, Azure does not use Moonwalk, so he's going to be using Morph Ball turnarounds. Gets it very quickly. That's quite nice. And uses the randomizer modification of that bottom block being a shot block. But he's going to have slower setups here than a lot of players would, but uses a nice little 1-frame input to get turned around in the door. And then has to press jump on the right frame when he's on the far side of this pedestal in the middle of moat. Yeah, this, unfortunately, is just really... It gets really frustrating missing this trick a handful of times, because especially having taken an early time loss, it can really get in your head. So good to see Azure make it through there across, goes back to the through door setup, a little more generous, and gets across the moat. So nicely done. We'll see what's over here in Rex Ship. Polar Bear Bunny does get back up and check that Billy Mays check. That's actually really pretty heads up. Good check for her. That was one of those big loose squares that potentially could have been, one of those things that you get to a full half hour later than your opponents if it ends up being a very important item. Yeah, I definitely echo chat's sentiment here. OK Beamer, another one of our racers in this tournament. It's been a rough seed, but there's Screw Attack. There's Polar Bear Bunny's Screw Attack, P2 Screw Attack at P1 Rex Ship pre-Fantoon missiles. That's a nice item. There's not, it doesn't open a whole lot, but we'll take what we can get. And ooh, that is a huge find for Polar Bear Bunny. Team BearPear just found the Player 1 Gravity Suit at Player 2 Old Mother Brain missiles. Because of no power bombs the first time through for Player 2, could not access that location on the first time by. That's a pretty big loose square in a bad part of the map. Oh, and I just looked up and saw Nobly taking another death. Hopefully there's a recent save. Looks like they are sort of fully committing to the hell runs, whereas it looks like BearPear has decided, those weren't for us today. Azure into his first boss fight, fighting Fantoon. Good clean. I think that was a 3-round, it looked like. Either way, clean Fantoon fight. But yeah, this seed is one where sort of both teams are getting fairly punished. And they'll be having a little bit of trouble with this mock ball over into the ice beam area. It can get a little tricky. You need to do a short hop mock ball basically after running under the first gate. You can do it before, but yeah, if you run back toward the right gate, obviously I can't tell this to Nobly right now, before triggering the left gate if you see that you didn't get the mock ball, you can avoid that second gate coming down. But hopefully he gets this. Hey, he did run back to the right, so that was a good start. And Polar Bear Bunny's speed to go with that screw attack. Not sure that's going to force any sort of divergence from what was planned. But Obscure is going in on these hell runs. Very low health for this. This might just be the Cathedral Scout. Yeah, especially taking a hit there. Oh, okay. Has all 4 reserves actually. So you just want to not fill up too full. And yeah, I guess this is in logic. 6 total tanks, and there's some high jump boots there. And of course, they're your own high jump boots. That sucks. But yeah, he's doing it the right way, making good use of those manual reserves. And it looks like Polar Bear Bunny is also going in, setting up for the CWJ. Looks like she's just going to use that grapple beam, though. And Nobly is in the crumble shaft, and that's going to be a reset. Unfortunately, Obscure not going to get to keep those boots this time. We might see the play back through on this hell run. It looks like Bayfield Hay is pretty committed to the low play here, down in Upper Norfair, and I think there's a real defense for it. There's enough ammo for a Crystal Flash. I kind of want to see Obscure go back up the elevator and head over for the Sloater's refill. And just get that extra health. And looks like that might be the play. He might just be going back up Red Tower. As you're dealing with the worker robots, they're awful, but that's an E-Tank, and we're gonna keep that. With 2 outstanding Various suits. Oh, 1 outstanding Various suit. But yep, okay, good old classic. Hey, we have both suits for one player, 0 suits for the other player. Thanks, Multiworld. Okay, but yeah, it looks like Obscura is going to make the play back up Red Tower, something that is available to him because of the terrain modifications for Super Metroid Randomizer. I guess wants to trade a Power Bomb for a Power Bomb there with that B-Tom. And looks like Nobly is going to stay on the Hell Run plan here. And just supers down there, so we're not gonna worry about that. But this is gonna be a little worrisome, but not bad. This should be quite fine to make it through this hell run over to Bubble Mountain. And then once over there, you got Ice Beam to get around, but no supers, so thankfully there's some cack attacks over there you can farm. Are these things squeeps, I think is what the little lava bats are? You don't want to take too many hits from the squeeps. They'll hurt you. But he's almost through. Come on, you got this. Nice. Alright, so now that Nobly is over in Bubble Mountain, I won't say trapped here, because like you can farm and get back out. But it's hard to get back out of here. So luckily we know that Obscure is on the way to find the Varia suit for Nobly. And that'll be a nice convenience. Unfortunately, it might feel a little bad finding the gravity suit first if Obscure goes back through Retro. Which honestly, no speed booster. I think we're going to see the path back through Retro, and it looks like from these wall jumps that's what we're getting. So this will be good for Bayfield Hay. They will find that gravity suit and not isolate it forever. But yeah, Nobly is just going to farm up some health drops here, some ammo from these waivers, and get in good shape, probably to go up and do the farm outside of the speed booster room. There's a 4, I guess they're gamuts, since we're in Upper North. There's a pit that spits out 5 gamuts, and so you can get pretty good drops up there. And Polar Bear Bunny going to use that speed booster to make it through the sponge bath. Oh, not quite though. Come on, just do the bomb jump, PBB. You got this. Yeah, let's go. So this is a pretty tight bomb jump here that we're seeing from Polar Bear Bunny. I'm a big fan of it. Yeah, it's the better way through this room. Yeah, look at how nice and free it is. This is sort of a crappy bomb jump, honestly. There's a rhythm to it. But I agree with this choice. And Astor now, with all the suits, has sort of the world in front of him. And yo, PBB made it through. Nicely done. So, while a lot of the Super Metroid community sort of focuses in and does a lot of major minor generally, actually all 4 players in this are pretty familiar with the SMZ3, Super Metroid A Link to the Past combo randomizer. And that is full randomizer all the time. So actually all of these players will have a pretty good familiarity with some of the silly tricks that full rando can really put on your plate. So it's actually kind of cool to get to see these folks racing full rando in this tournament. Although, ooh, Obscure, you're going to need to not drop onto those spikes. Now, if I'm Obscure here, I want a Crystal Flash, but okay, yeah, just waiting to do it in this room. And we're seeing Astor making the play into Meridia. Does have Ice Beam, so can do just about everything that you'd want to do in Meridia. Some of it's inconvenient. Getting the item here at Mama Turtle is definitely inconvenient. So yeah, I think that E-Tank is not going to be picked up today. And rightly, we do see Nobly just taking the time and farming up at the pre-speed farm. Looks like it's kept Ice Beam on, which is going to slow things down a little bit. And nice gravity jump here from Azure. And going to use the low percent ice wall jump here. Always good to see. Really nice climb up the crab shaft there, and we're going to see what's up here in the beach area. Zone screw attack. And two more items back here, usually miners, but again, this is a full randomizer today, so could be anything. Really nice jump morph. That's actually a lot harder than Azure just made that look. So that was pretty excellent. Yeah, for questions about the logic, the most direct parallel to this is actually the SMZ3 randomizer, because there's a lot of things that don't quite work the same, but in terms of some of the nuances of expectations for doing certain tricks, it'll be largely ported between the two. And Nobly now farmed up a good amount of health. I'm kind of interested in seeing a save here from Nobly before going in on the double chamber and single chamber hell run, just because it'd be nice to have that if these are either obscures items or if they're bad items, to get that health reset in case we are going to make the play back out, or if exactly this happens and we screw up double chamber, then we kind of are stuck in the go back and farm it up again space. And this, okay, we're just going to crystal flash, but this is a commitment, and this is a K-go through the platform. And are we going to get a crystal flash off here? I don't know, but it's going to be tight. Yeah, that's not going to quite work. So we're going to be going back to the speed farm. Charge beam here at the sand pit of player one. We'll see whose charge beam it is. Nice how and easy shuffle there to get Polar Bear Bunny's charge beam, and Azure's just going to reset. And a spring ball for Azure from Polar Bear Bunny's Beta Power Bombs location. And there, BayfieldHay gets the gravity suit for player one. It's going to feel a little bad with Nobly tied up over here, but they will get over into the wrecked ship, I believe. They look like they're on that path at this point, and get that Varia as well. Which, if all the items end up being down here, Azure is sort of on his way down here, but BayfieldHay is maybe having their player one in potentially a better map location to take advantage of that. We'll have to see how things all shake out. We're going to see Azure do a little ice clip here with this Metroid. This is a very important Metroid. You have to crouch and just sort of jump on top of him, and he's just at the right height so you can just pop right up through the ceiling. And oh yeah, that's not quite going to get you back to the speed farm. So we have the save. Nice Coliseum here so far for Ashdar. And we see Obscure heading up. Might be going up to Criteria Power Bombs. I think this is a location we haven't seen yet. Although, no, I think we did see it. I think Polar Bear Bunny had speed coming through for P2. I don't remember what was here because I did not take note of it, but has a nice bomb jump going. Ashdar into his second boss. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it. Are we gonna make it? No, we're not gonna make it. But Nobly is doing a good job of persisting at this. This is not easy. Super Metroid full randomizer, especially Multiworld, where you can end up with these really disparate loadouts between players, is not an especially easy game. It can get a little nasty sometimes. So it is good to see the persistence. And we got Polar Bear Bunny fighting the optional Croc boss. I think there's 5 items down here, so it can be a nice check. See if anything is important down here. Could be an entirely skippable map area. Nobly almost got there. And yo, it's is that an E-Tank? Oh, it's not an E-Tank for Nobly. I couldn't remember whose E-Tank it was there in the ocean. But it looks like we're getting real close to that Varia suit. So then Nobly's going to be cooking. I guess Nobly's already cooking, but things are going to be going a lot better. We just need to will Obscure across the ocean here, which, to be fair, is a miserable room. It is another one of those ones that you see players who are really good at this room do it, and it looks so much easier than it really is. And so far, Croxlair doesn't look like it's returning any goods. And Nobly is back at the farm. Is probably still going to be farming when he gets his Varia suit here in just a second. And there it is. So now the farm's looking a lot cozier. And so what I was saying is we have, Ashdar deep in Meridia. Will be headed to Norfair eventually, but depending on what Nobly chooses to do from here, is going to have a little bit of a head start on seeing some new items down here. And looks like Polar Bear Bunny has finished up with Croxlair. I didn't see that there was anything down there. Obscure into the Fantoon fight. Much nicer health than what he was dealing with for the Hell Run earlier. All those reserves. Oh, we're going to be doing some screw attack. We don't have screw attack. We're just going to be tanking some enraged flames. 5 supers should do the trick. I don't know if we have enough health for that. We got Crystal Flash. We can make it work. I can believe in it. All right, we got a second super. Yeah, I guess we are just doing some Nintendo Power fan tune here. Plasma Beam, you can do all right with it, but yeah, taking a little bit of a beating there from old Fantoon. Yeah, I like the decision by Obscure to choose to use the manual reserves and be sure to get the most out of them. But unfortunately, with the reserve set to manual, you do need to really be careful about it. And looks like Azur's going to do the X-Ray Force Stand. I think the Puyo needs to be a little bit higher for this to work. But the window for success in this is definitely much greater than the frame perfect ice clip method. But if we're talking about old hundo tricks, this should be good for the ice clip for the X-Ray Force Stand version. And we're getting a Shaq tool check. Alright, so let's see what is at player 1's spring ball location. Just player 2 supers, so not going to be required today. So I will provide a little bit of context to the pre-race chat when it was being randomized whether this would be a full or a major minor split. Both teams seem pretty happy with the full outcome. I think there may have been a little bit of complaining, but there was definitely some rooting, definitely from the BayfieldHay side for full rando. So the players are getting exactly what they wanted out of this one, for better or worse. And we're seeing the player 1 Crocomire now. Depending on how BearPear is feeling, especially with that space jump now, after that reset as a sort of a chunk time loss, you're still, you never know exactly what the other team's experiencing. Right now they're experiencing Croc's awful hitbox. But yeah, you never know how the race is going for the other team. You can kind of make your best guess, but you're not allowed any sort of outside information or information about how the race is going, so they don't know necessarily about the challenges that that Bayfield Hay has run into. And so I could see potentially skipping the Crocomire check. So if there's important items here at Player One's Crocomire, that could be very good for Bayfield Hay. We'll have to see what BearPear does. Oh, a nice health refill for Obscure there in the middle of the Fantoon fight. And Polar Bear Bunny still no suits for Player 2. So looked like that Meridia didn't really return all that much. And yeah, so here Nobly is saying, I know that I want to get to the Croc Power Bombs location, and is going to use a Shine Spark from the previous room to get there. So a little bit of a different approach on this one from what we had seen Polar Bear Bunny have to do. Oh, and here is the Player 2 Gravity Suit in Player 1 Croc Lair. So we'll see if Azure chooses to do Crocomire before doing Lower Norfair. But that'll be really nice for damage reduction for Obscure and Wrecked Ship. Some of the enemies hit a little bit hard. Yeah, this is where we want to watch what Azure does here from Double Chamber. It looks like we might be going down right to Lower Norfair, taking sort of the new route. Nope, looks like we're going up. Okay, so now we have a little bit more of an option. I wasn't so sure about taking the lower route out of Double Chamber with Wave Beam, but Wave Beam and Space Jump. Oh, we have more stuff in Bubble Mountain. I thought we'd gotten everything cleared out. Okay, there's the option to Croc and the option to Lower Norfair here for Azure. It looks like he's going left, so it looks like... Oh, no, maybe he's faking me out. I thought we were going to Croc's Lair. Maybe he was entertaining it. And now it looks like we're going straight for Lower Norfair. Just going to farm up some ammo over here, because looks like he's at 20 out of his 50 supers, and having some extra supers for Lower Norfair is never bad. Okay, so we have a question from OK Beamer here in chat. Is Polar Bear Bunny in BK after speed checks? BK being a multi-world term about a restaurant, the eponymous BK, where if you are out of stuff to do, going to BK is maybe your best option. So we might be out of logical things to do for Polar Bear Bunny. What else would she have to do? We don't have things to do. We don't have Spring Ball or Ice Beam. We can do nothing in Meridia, really. Can't really do anything productive in Lower Norfair with these E-tanks. There's stuff you can do, but none of it's good. So I would say, yeah, we're getting close to a player 2 BK on the BearPear side. As you're going to use some of those supers, no charge beam yet, and no charge plasma, so super's going to be the fastest way to dispatch Old Teresa. As we get a lava dive down into Lower Norfair from Nobly rather than a gravity jump. Nice Lower Norfair entry. Where was that space jump? Where was the player 1 space jump again? So BearPear has the, or both teams have the player 2 gravity at, I think, cosine missiles in player 1 Crocomire area. And we don't know where player 2 Varia is yet. Probably behind player 2 gravity. We're getting a second attempt here at climb supers. Without Ice Beam, you have to sort of do this charge. PvP could clear it out with Power Bombs, but gets the spark off. It's a little bit tight, but just super missiles here. Gonna be rooting for, something. Player 2 Varia, player 2 Ice Beam to show up here in Lower Norfair for sure. But yeah, that was why the decision juncture of whether to go Crocomire or not before Lower Norfair was such a big one for BearPear, and Azure was almost playing around with us a little bit over that particular decision. But I agree with the call that he made. Ultimately, it's not the call that's going to give, or not going to give Gravity Suit at least to Polar Bear Bunny. But if you're BearPear, you're thinking, well, there's a world where, we're 15 minutes ahead of where we are now, or at least, about 10 minutes ahead of where we are now, and would be commensurately 10 minutes ahead in these checks and would have been in Croc's Lair already. So when you find that gravity, it's not going to feel real great. But that's the thing about, rando in general, and especially a higher variance like full rando multi-world for Super Metroid. You can always see the route that your opponents could take to beat you. We know that that's not necessarily the route that was taken by BayfieldHay just yet, but they do have that player 2 gravity, so they will be able to get into Meridia probably here a little bit ahead. And looks like we have PvP doing some farming, just kind of doing some BK mode dancing, chilling. Gonna go get a burger or something. Really, what PvP is doing right now is trying to decide, where she wants to be stationed, right? Like, you've got this bifurcation point where you're either going to get something to do in Lower Norfair, or you're going to get something to do in Meridia. And so she has chosen the spot here of the Meridia Brinstar Elevator, or Norfair Brinstar Elevator. And I think that this is a good spot, as good a spot as any. I think what I would do is I would go save at the tube at the bottom of Meridia, and then I would run back to Gravitron if I was Polar Bear Bunny, so that I could reset and either be positioned into Lower Norfair or be positioned up into Meridia. But Azure did bail on Lower Norfair after finding nothing and say, okay, it's got to be Croc. And will be right. But yeah, Azure did assess he's pretty ahead right now with both suits. Just needs to find the item that Polar Bear Bunny needs. Oh, PBB is going to farm up power bombs here. Oh, and there's a space jump. P2 space jump was at P1 Croc power bombs. And now we're getting that Meridia out of Obscure. We're seeing P2 Meridia now. And there is... Oh, and PBB is taking that reset. See where she resets to with that gravity suit. I'm guessing it's closer to Meridia than she was before. But okay, we had a Frog Speedway save. I don't know how much time that reset saved, but maybe a little bit. As Nobly is into Lower Norfa, this is a bit of a tough play. Doesn't have that screw attack from Meridia. Doesn't have that plasma beam from, I think, also Meridia. So it's going to have a little bit of a harrowing Lower Norfa. It does have a good number of E-tanks. Welcome to anyone coming in from the Speedrunners Arena, or SRA raid. Y'all are coming into the mid-late stages of a 2v2 multi-world match here between BearPear on the left and BayfieldHay on the right. The narrative of this is that Polar Bear Bunny for BearPear was in BK mode, or stuck without anything meaningful to do for a while. And Azure left Lower Norfair to go find her gravity suit in Crocomyre's lair. And Obscure has had that gravity for a little while and is taking it into Meridia, just a little bit ahead of Polar Bear Bunny at this point on that. But the BayfieldHay has a little bit of real estate to make up in terms of hasn't done all of Player 1 Meridia yet. Is maybe a little earlier into Player 1 Lower Norfair. Azure has been down through here looking for items, but hasn't completed it, so does have to go back. But getting a little bit hung up here, I think. Are we having to do spring ball jump entry? It looks like maybe we're having to do a spring ball jump, yeah. No high jump boots, but yo, nice Nobly. That is great to see. Very nice spring ball jump, worst room in the game passage there for Nobly. Whereas Azure has screw attack and space jump, and it's not quite the difference between like new route and old route worst room in the game, but it's almost analogous. But looks like Nobly is taking the Mickey Mouse exit here. You got to kill 5 enemies in this room to get this door to turn on. Gets it done and gets through. Is going to go back up through worst room in the game. Must have taken a little fall on the crumble blocks. It's pretty tough to get out of those. And oh, there is. So we're going to see that various suit for P2 from both sides using different strats. But there is that P2 Varia in Aqueduct. I think that is Go mode for BearPear and is going to be very close to Go mode for BayfieldHay as soon as the snail clip gets done. There it is. So yeah, ammo looks good. Loadouts look tenable. We need an ice beam or a speed booster for Obscure. To get through the Batuan hallway. I don't think Obscure is likely to go for the Crystal Flash clip. That said, I wouldn't put it past him. But it doesn't look like that's something that he's gonna want to go in on, especially with only 14 power bombs right now. We want to see P2 Ice Beam right now. Right now in the sand pit. Yo, there it is! So that's going to be Go mode for BayfieldHay as well. Does have to kind of go back around Meridia, but, good news is now it's just, finish the game. Loadout's not looking the greatest, and does still need to get down to Ridley for both players, but realistically, with the routing as it is, this is a Polar Bear Bunny versus Obscure race, it looks like. It may be Nobly. I don't actually know whether Obscure or Nobly's ahead for BayfieldHay. They seem pretty balanced. I would say that Obscure actually is probably ahead. So I think we're looking at Polar Bear Bunny versus Nobly here. Yeah, Nobly does need a couple more missile packs to be in full Go mode, but that's the sort of thing where if Obscure is ahead, you can just send Obscure to go dig out some items and it'll be okay. Obscure is one of those high jump boots for a while. Although I think right now for BayfieldHay, they would rather it be the high jump boots for the player without space jump. Yeah, so one of the interesting things about this multi-world format is it is second player to finish for each team. So in BearPear's situation, where both players are in Go mode, but there's still some convenient stuff that Polar Bear Bunny might want. We're probably going to see Azure do some auxiliary checks here, looking for those items for PvP as he blows right by the Franker Z missiles. I think he did check those on the way out to Croc earlier, so I don't think that's a skipped check. I think that's an already done check. All right, this looks good for Nobly for this spring ball jump. Let's see it. Oh, just need to hold right. Almost, almost. The timing on the hard part was good. That also looks good. Just hold right and then unpause. Ooh. This is such a rough strat, honestly. Like it's pretty nasty. This is like the fourth time we've been asked about Player 1 Space Jump, and the answer is we think it's in Player 1 Meridia, but we're not sure. I'm pretty sure it's there, though. And Polar Bear Bunny getting that Plasma Beam. Nice convenience item there. So Azure is doing the sort of auxiliary checks, just looking for things to make PvP's Go mode a little cozier. And Nobly is up. Nobly is up into upper worst room in the game, and doesn't need to go check the Mickey Mouse missiles. So, that's an interesting approach to ball overhead, but it works and it gets you through the room. I love seeing some unexpected strats here. Oh, Nobly gonna have to make it through Amphitheater here. Okay, it should be good. Using the spring ball to great effect, and oh nuts! Get out of there, dude! Get out! You got this. Just no, dude! Stop! Oh my god. I don't know what Acid Crystal Flash timing looks like, but I doubt that Nobly does either. But we're gonna just gamble. We're gonna gamble here. Did we do it? We did not. We were early and now we're way late. Oh, shucks. This is how I miss items on like all the screens. Is I watch one screen intently and can't look away. But hopefully we find some movement convenience for Nobly. Or the spring ball jump practice pays off, and we're just going to get cleanly through worst room. Oh, it looks like we're back here. So maybe Nobly opts out to go over to Meridia. No, looks like Nobly is going back for Lower Norfair. I will reiterate again, this seed, and I mean this game in general, and this seed in specific, not the easiest thing. So runners are all doing actually really well, even though there's been some rough situations. These are not especially easy situations to get through. We're gonna see. Looks like we're setting up for a gravity jump here. Oh, might have been a little bit late on the pause. We'll have to see if that works. We're using a crouch jump into a gravity jump here to get up. Okay. Yeah, we've made it to the first ledge. Normally, don't see this one done quite this way, but does work nicely. And yeah, Azure is, all bosses down. Just gonna go and do bowling. Why not? Go get that wave beam. There's really nothing else to do of value. And the wave beam, you know, will reasonably help a little bit for player 2. Charge wave plasma is a nice loadout. Obscure into his Ridley fight. And Nobly back into Pillar's room, and going to be in the worst room in the game again here shortly. I mean, it's called worst room in the game because it's not particularly fun under a lot of lower loadouts, and this is one of them. Good morph in manipulating the pirate, and gonna kill that last lower pirate, and set up to do some spring ball jumping. Yo, nice worst room ascent there from Nobly. Definitely getting a little more comfortable with these spring ball jumps. Gets up there quite quickly. Gonna use the spring ball sort of ball overhead type of strat, just deboost off the head of the space pirate. Not something I've seen before, but I mean, it seems to be a fairly effective way at making it over that pirate. Gonna see if we can make it through the amphitheater this time. Alright, we just need to make it past this guy. Nice. Alright, we're through into the Red Key Hunter shaft. And yeah, at 50 a pop, we can just tank these guys, get to the save station. And Nobly is going to be through the worst of it there. Meanwhile, Polar Bear Bunny has cleaned up all of her bosses, so Azur's almost out of time to torch here. Is up an Ice Beam, so Polar Bear Bunny's going to have to do Power Bomb Metroids. But they'll be on their way to Torian for Team BearPear. It is Obscure. Really only has the Meridia cleanup and Dragon. Nobly a little behind at this point. You know, those worst room hang-ups a little rough. Gonna look for you know, some better loadout features. Not gonna find much, but yeah, just got to get through Ridley here on Nobly, and then up to Dragon to a quick in and out wreck ship, kill that Phantoon, and go to Torian as well. So both teams are nicely on the path toward the end game. BearPear just built up a little bit of a lead. Azure definitely one of the, you know, absolute best randomizer players in this tournament or in Super Metroid Randomizer in general. So has really done a great job for BearPear. All players playing really well, but you know, Azure, scary player to race against in this game. So even with that early time loss, has been able to sort of come back, make some really nice routing choices, and is on his way to Torian. Nice little speedball there. Does need to kill all three of the side hoppers here. Unfortunately, no grappling beam for player 1 to farm the Zebos here pre-Ridley, so it's going to be a little bit of a slow farm for Nobly. And Polar Bear Bunny doing some powerbomb Metroids. Azure probably wants to actually go to Torian at some point. Like, you know, you got Ice Beam, you have a faster Torian than your partner, but I don't know if I like that waterway check there. Because, like, what happens if you find Ice Beam at waterway in Azure's situation? You're more behind your teammate? Like, I don't think it helps your team finish faster. But that said, you know, it's kind of small potatoes in this race. All right, Nobly into Ridley. Health and ammo looking pretty good. Ridley not too tough to manipulate. You can kind of keep him bouncing around in these pogos. He usually cooperates pretty all right. Usually you do want to sort of turn him around and get him facing the other way. Left pogos definitely a friendlier position than right pogos. But doing an okay job in the fight up. Yeah, that's a good poke. You just want to be kind of right on the edge there. And yeah, gonna manual out that reserve. Just be sure not to get a double hit, and Ridley's gonna pick Nobly up, and I'll be through the fight. So, Polar Bear Bunny doing a good job killing these Zebs, or Zebatites. The best option when you're doing the ammo kill here, which she was, is to just use 2 missiles and then 3 supers on each one. Gets him down with the minimum amount of damage output. Saves the most to use on Mother Brain here. And good. It looks like Nobly has changed up his farm strat here to use the up aiming strat with Ice and Wave. This is going to give him a little bit of a faster farm than what he was doing earlier on the way in. This is a good development. We're gonna get an ice clip here from Obscure on the way to Dragon, as Polar Bear Bunny is through Mother Brain 1 and 2, just in the cutscene waiting on Mother Brain 3. And Azure not far behind into the Mother Brain 1 room. Going for a sort of a traditional ice Zeb skip. Nicely done. A little bit of trouble getting clipped into the Zebetite there, but again, just can be finicky and not too bad. Obscure. Need to ammo kill Botwoon. Still no charge beam. Interestingly, no charge beams on either player for for Bayfield Hay. So both are going to be doing ammo Torians. I'm trying to remember where the charge beams were. Or where the charge beam that we saw was. I think it was in Player 1 Wrecked Ship. That would be a place that would make sense for it to have been. So yeah, Nobly taking some damage here, but does have the ammo needed for a Crystal Flash. That Plasma Beam will also help. So what I want to see Nobly do here is take one Spike hit and then Crystal Flash. Or yeah, get up here and then Crystal Flash. Okay. Polar Bear Bunny sparking through the Leodox room. Nobly gets that Crystal Flash. Now I'll have plenty of health to make it out of Lower Norfair. And Azure through Mother Brain 1, so this, unless something real weird happens, will be a win for Team BearPear. So the way this tournament's being run is this is the group stage right now with GSL style groups, which is, I believe, something adapted from StarCraft initially, if I'm reading the acronym properly. But basically, you play in your group until you earn either 2 wins or 2 losses, and the teams that earn 2 wins are going to move on to an upper bracket, and the teams that earn 2 losses are going to move on to a lower bracket. So no one's being eliminated in the group stage, just kind of partitioning players basically into what I believe is ostensibly a double elim bracket. But Polar Bear Bunny makes it to the ship. GG, Polar Bear Bunny. An official time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, 57 seconds. And Azure will be not too far behind. And Nobly is just gonna, just murder the 3 Musketeers. Just, you got Plasma Beam, you got Wave Beam. Just get him dead. And Obscure through Dragon, so that's all of Obscure's G4 bosses down. Just needs to make it over to Torian and then kill Mother Brain, do the escape. And Nobly, just needs to go up, kill Dragon, kill Fantoon. So we're nicely on the way to the end game here. So both teams really have done the meat of the seed. And Azure is going to make it to the ship. Finish up with an official time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 29 seconds. And following that in pretty quick order, we're going to see forfeits from Obscure and also from Nobly. GG's to both teams. GG to BearPear on taking the win, and GG to Bayfield Hay on making it through the seed and doing some pretty tough, nasty stuff. Not the easiest randomizer, and they got through really all of the nasty stuff, and we're just sort of on the way to the end game. But it looks like we will be joined here by Azure and Polar Bear Bunny of Team BearPear, our winners today. GG Azure, GG PBB, nice win.
Nice win, I agree. Thanks.
Nice win.
Yeah, so PBB, How do you feel about finishing first?
I don't know how that happened because I was way behind.
Yeah,
You,
something waterway. I don't know.
well, you told me you were not at Ridley yet, and when I asked you, like, I was basically trying to ask, should I go get the wave at Wreck Ship, or should I look for ice? Like, which one do you want first if I don't have enough time to get to both? And the way you made it sound was that I had enough time to do everything, so I did everything.
I thought you did. I wasn't at Ridley yet. I had to do Ridley, go all the way back to the ship.
Oh,
I don't
I
know.
also forgot to refill Enturian, so that cost me time. So yeah, it's not super well played on my part.
So I'm curious, PBB, where was your charge beam found?
That was in his game. I don't
It
know though.
was somewhere.
Was it Wreck Ship or was it Croc Escape?
I don't think it was. I didn't do Croc Escape. It wasn't that.
Okay, because there's one in Croc Escape that nobody's showing us now.
That would be. Wait. Oh yeah, that would be my own.
Yeah,
Did
that
I
was.
not look at? I didn't peek that. I forgot to
No,
look at.
you just straight up skipped it.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you didn't have your charge.
Yeah, but GG also to Obscure who's joining us. Welcome, Obscure. How are you doing?
Hey, GG's guys, well played. Well, as well played for that seed, I guess.
No,
GG.
Nobody played it
No,
properly.
no, it was a
I
disaster.
did.
That's true.
I did what I could.
Seed was not nice. Sorry, Obscure, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it was a lot of effort to get us going, and it was just we just didn't get going. Like I was saying to him in the race time, my controller was playing up as well, so it was double clicking a lot. And like what happened in the Fantoon fight, like it kept clicking through to supers, and obviously I aggravated it twice, and then I went in the second time and it was still doing it, and I probably would have died there as well if nobody didn't send me an E-tank at that time. And then obviously, like when that's happening, like nobody was clipping through elevators and stuff, and it was just everything just went wrong. It was just, but it's what can you do? These are one of those seas where you've really got to put your head in the game really, and kind of like, okay, that happened, let's move on. But that was the real challenge of this seed more than the actual seed itself, I guess.
Yeah, the seed was not kind, and both teams definitely had some hardships. But yeah, I mean, Nobly especially did a really good job of persisting, sort of redoing Worst Room, redoing Amphitheater. I know Lower Norfolk was just sort of really a bit of a nightmare by that point, but like just getting through it and getting through the hard part of the seed was really good to see.
I don't think I've ever been in BK mode in an SM only multi-world. Ever.
I cannot say that I have, but I've done many fewer of those than I have of other multi-worlds. So, you know, there's a lot fewer hard gates, so it's hard to get to BK mode in Super Metroid.
Yeah, it really
You did
is.
it, though. You did it.
I accomplished it. And
that achievement unlocked.
Yeah. Get a trophy in the corner.
I was saying, so what was your play there? You were just kind of camping the elevator there at Norfair to Brinstar, it seemed like, just waiting to see whether you were going to Meridia or Lower Norfair?
Basically, yeah. Like, I suppose I could have, like, you probably saw I was gonna go to Lower Norfair just to check it out, but I figured there was a lot better odds that I get either Ice, Spring Ball, or Gravity over just Varia. So I figured my next stop was gonna be Meridia, so it would have been a waste of time to go to LN.
Yeah, that's fair. I was saying, I think at least the best that I could come up with in that situation was to go tube save and then like stand at Gravitron.
Yeah.
But like I just don't think there's a good play there. Like doing Lower Norfair is so miserable on that loadout.
Yeah. And I was just trying to like think like if I forgot something and I couldn't think of anything. Yeah.
Yeah, this otherwise was a really interesting race. Both teams had sort of some messes early. Asger with the 0 health pause there, and deciding whether to wait for an E-tank or not. But with Brynloop being so empty, I think that the right call was to just say, yeah, I'm just gonna grab what I need to and then go down Red Tower or go to Wrecked Ship. Worked out okay. But there were some early deaths in Hell Runs and Bubble Mountain area on the BayfieldHay side, so it all did kind of wash out.
Yeah, that was a little worrying because I was like, after basically High Jump Boots area, I was like, there's nowhere for me to get you an E-tank in any short amount of time. And I don't think I eventually found an E-tank for him until I was in the Wrecked Ship. So.
Yeah, and our goal was to get into go mode before you guys finished, and we achieved that. So that was a little win for us there.
Well, GG.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a hard matchup for sure. I mean, both teams though very very solid, and we're really a joy to watch play.
Thank you.
Wait, I think the Obscure Nobly are better than they let on. Like Azure and I really thought we could lose this one.
Yeah, they're sneaky good.
Yeah, sneaky good. I've seen Nobly do double spring ball jump, but I can't do that. So
Yeah,
this time
Nobly's signature move, this double spring ball jump.
Nobly did triple spring ball jump today. It was wow. Impressive.
Not that kind of triple. It's a really fun trick though. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this felt like very not fun, and it felt like it was less because of the seed and more because of like what happened to us during the seed, and like mainly finding gravity, it being the bottleneck for Varia was like, it was good and bad. It was good because it was like, okay, if they got bottlenecked too, we might, by the same thing, we might still be okay. But it was also just rude. I mean, you could get to that gravity way earlier. I don't know what I would have ended up doing. I might have gotten to it way earlier had I not died in the ice hall run falling down Crumble Tower. But...
Yeah, and that was sort of how it went for BayfieldHay. Was they committed to the hell runs early, were in Croc, and did get that gravity ahead, but you had done sort of more of the upper part of the map, had already done all of Wrecked Ship, all of Meridia at that point, so like it was going to be tough to bring it back from that point, even with the advantage of the suit and progression.
I didn't think there was enough good stuff up top. I guess for Bunny's Wrecked Ship had good stuff for me.
Even the space jump and screw attack and things that were just convenience items. I don't know if it was enough, but they weren't awful to find.
Did you like my multiple lore and Orphear for item density?
Yeah, no, it seemed like you make the density play. It looked like you were going to play Croc before Lower Norfair there. And actually you started to head left out of Lower Bubble Mountain, and I did want to ask about that. And then you sort of turned and went back down into Lower Norfair. What was the decision point?
Oh, that was super interesting. So, I mean, I felt like whichever way I went, there was high chance that behind anyways, but at first I was like, okay, I'll get the Bubble Mountain super. I'm kind of low on supers. If the super is mine, I'll just go Lower Norfair because I need the supers for GT ammo and stuff like that. And it wasn't mine, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go do Croc, hopefully get some ammo and drops from Croc by the time I get around. And then I was like, wait, I just got Space Jump not too long ago, and if they did Lower Norfair super early, much earlier than we did, and there's something at GT Missile, then Space Jump's my out. So I decided to go rush GT instead.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a real decision being made from the indecision in your movement. So I did want to be sure to kind of pick your brain about that a little bit, but that makes sense.
It's tough calls. And like I put off Kraid for a long time because I would have gotten to it earlier, much earlier, had it not died. But it was just like I mean, progression could have been there, and I could have made us be behind because of that. But also, like, you can pick any spot really, and just be like, well, you're gonna make a route that's gonna get to that spot last. There's a way to route in each spot as late as possible, basically. So it's
when you have both suits, like the map's just open to you, and so like you can always make the choice of going to the right or wrong place, which is always really stressful about these.
Yeah, like if I felt better about how the race was going, I would have done it, but I would have done it earlier. But like, yeah, we've had a lot of seeds lately where I get both suits pretty early, and she doesn't have either suit for a long time. Like, it's been repeatedly happening in practice.
It's been a sad story.
I feel like I've ridden that ride, PBB, so I identify with your quandary, where like it feels like for us, Dirk's just got both suits, and I'm just kind of hanging on, trying to figure out if they're somewhere awful in my game, or if they're just in one of the a billion places in his game that he hasn't gotten to yet. So that is the 2-player multi-world Super Metroid experience.
Yep.
I don't think I had too much else to ask about this one. Obscure, was there anything else that you want to say about this one?
No, I think what's been said has been said. It was a tough one, but as we say, the better players have won today. So GG's to you guys, and good luck in your tournament.
GG, Obscure.
Yeah, GG. Thank you for commentating, Maniacal. I'm sure it was a good listen to watch back.
It was a ride for sure. There were choices being made in plays, and it was a fun time for sure. So thank you for letting me commentate it. Big thanks to ProPiece for tracking as well. Did the other matching in y'all's group happen? Do you know what the next matchup looks like, or is that one still TBD?
Oh, it's still early, so it's
TBD.
The other matchup is MM2 Farflu versus Woody and Sarah.
Oh yeah, y'all have that really interesting group. That's going to be a fun group to watch play out. I see that one's actually on the calendar for Tuesday the 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. And then we also, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, have the Order of the Elephant versus 0 kbps. Hopefully their internet holds up. Looks like Slow Guy and Thornetto versus Kuru and RKC TKC. So I'll be looking to check out both of those if I can. Don't know what channels those are going to be on yet, but probably somewhere on SpeedGaming. But anything else, Ashdare PBB?
I guess like one tiny thing is I thought it was funny. We got two of the couples teams in our group. There's 3 in the tournament I'm aware of, and we didn't get all 3, but it was kind of close.
Oh, yeah,
that is interesting. I'm trying to think who the third one is, but I'm not gonna.
It's Eden and Source.
Oh, cool. I don't know all of the players as well as maybe I would hope to, so I didn't know that. That's a cool little factoid about this one. But yeah, your group's definitely going to be a really fun one to watch play out. But yeah, I think that'll do it for us for today. So big thanks to everyone. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the race as much as I did. GG's again to BearPear, Azure, and Polar Bear Bunny for taking down the win. GG's to BayfieldHay, Nobly, and Obscure for getting to go mode before BearPear finished. That was apparently the goal, and really doing a great job, honestly. Really overcame a lot in the seed. seed was not particularly nice. But thank y'all for hanging out again. The next one, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully y'all put that on the calendar to check that out. And we will see you next mission.